Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. I'm so happy you found me. I have several Halloween decorating ideas for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you several of the ideas that I used to decorate my house both inside and out this year. Let me show you how to make these adorable Halloween decorations. For our first Halloween hack, you're going to need one of these shackles that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. I think they look very cool. You're also going to need 2 packages of the chains, and these are 40 inches. Now I have 3 large pillars outside of my house that I want to wrap these around and have the shackles hanging down. So you're also going to need some heavy-duty zip ties. I also picked these up at Dollar Tree. They don't have to be this long. You need to decide how you want your shackles to hang. I want them to hang like this, where one is above the other. So I just find the chain length that will make it hang that way. And then the end of each of my links of chain here. So I have them all lined up. Link of chain, my shackles, and a link of chain. And I'm just going to zip tie these 3 together. Now if you don't have zip ties, you can use pipe cleaners. The reason why I've chosen zip ties is because I am going to be putting this outside. And there you go, I have all 3 pieces attached. And now I'll simply take this outside, wrap it around my pillar, and zip tie the 2 ends together. And this is what it looks like put up outside the front of my house. Another quick hack, you'll need one of the LED pillar candles. Now you can choose whichever you want. This is the a little bit slimmer but taller candle, and this is white. And then you're also going to need one of the Halloween rub-on transfer stickers. They have several different ones to choose from. I really like this one. It says Happy Halloween. I love the little witch's hat, broom, and her legs. Very cute. So I removed the plastic off my candle and took my little transfer sticker out. Now these do come with a little plastic sheet here on the back. You need to remove that before you try to transfer your image over. Then just decide where you want to place it. I kind of want it in the middle. Kind of check the top and bottom. Go ahead and rub that down. Then you just need a craft stick or maybe a coin or something along those lines. And just like you would with a regular rub-on transfer, just slowly work your way and rub the transfer over onto the candle. This may take a little bit of time. Just be patient. As you rub it over, you can see a color change so that you know that it has attached to the candle. See how it gets lighter? That means that it's already transferred over. This is a quick, fun, and easy way to decorate. And once it looks like you have everything rubbed over, just slowly and gently remove. If anything looks like it didn't transfer over, then go back and rub again until it does. It looks like everything moved over nicely. And that's how quick and easy that is. Very sweet. Now to display that, you can simply just put it in a nice candle holder. I always like to add a little bit of the Spangora mouse. This stuff adds that little bit of extra creep factor, I think. A little bit of that in the bottom, around the base of your candle. Very cute to sit on a side table, your mantle, or even your island. For my next Halloween hack, you're going to need a large bucket. I picked this one up at Dollar Tree. It's just a nice big black bucket. You can use whatever you have on hand. You're also going to need several of the little plastic skulls and a couple of the plastic skull hands. Now this is what I call my bucket of bones. It's very simple to do and looks great next to your front door for Halloween. Now I did pick up 8 of the skull heads for my bucket because it is rather large, and I picked up 3 hands. All you need to do is go ahead and fill in all of your skulls to fill up your bucket. If you don't want to buy this many skulls, you can always fill the bottom with crunched newspaper. Then you just simply arrange all of your skulls and your hands into the bucket and set it next to your front door. Now you could also add some Spanish moss in here and some spiders, but I think that will look so cute next to your front door. For the 2 large pots outside, I took a small shepherd hook from Dollar Tree and one of their Halloween lanterns, hung the lantern on the shepherd hook and placed it in the pot. I also then added in each pot 2 of the skeleton arms with stakes from Dollar Tree. I'm really happy with the look. I'm sure the kids are going to be thrilled this year. For this Halloween decor, you're going to need a large jar. This one I got, I believe I had roasted peppers in this that I had picked up from Costco. And then I picked these up over in the toy section. These are called squishy toys. I did pick up 3 of them. I thought they looked so creepy and I loved that bright lime color for Halloween. So just go ahead and put those creepy guys into your jar. And then we're going to add water. And in the water we're going to add one of these glow sticks. Now Dollar Tree has several different ones to choose from, especially right now because Halloween is coming. So they have several different packs. I think I'm going to go with the necklace here because I think it'll match the type of squishies that I bought the best. Now this package contains 4 necklaces. And it's supposed to be one of each of those colors. Okay, so they have the different colors of the necklaces. Now you're supposed to be able to break this, there it goes, and it activates it. So go through and break it. And then these can completely wind up and fit right down inside the jar. Now this will give a very eerie glow to your little squishy guys. I'll kind of get that down in there, mix it in. and then you add water. You want to fill it up to the top where the rim is here. You don't need to go all the way to the very top because on this one the lid is going to cover that part. Let me get the lights and show you what it looks like. And then there you go. You got something really creepy that glows in a jar. Now this will go on my table when I sit outside on Halloween to give out candy. For our next project, you're going to need one of these welcome signs or something that's similar in size. This has a three-dimensional piece, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I'm going to save this little guy in my stash for something later. And then I don't want to work on having to remove all of this paper, so I'm going to be working here on the back. This did come with a ribbon that was stapled onto the back, so I did go ahead and remove those staples. Once you do that, you want to take some sandpaper and just go over those areas. Make sure they're nice and smooth. And here on the front, I noticed that right around the edges where it's really kind of rugged here, that the paper was starting to come off. Now I don't want that to be an issue once I start to paint the other side. So I'm also going to go through and kind of remove any excess paper that might be all the way around the edges here. So my piece is ready to be painted. I'm going to be painting on the back, but I don't have any lifting paper around my edges anymore. Now I want to get a good base of black paint, and this is just Apple Barrel's black paint. This is matte. Now I'm going to let that fully dry before I move forward. Now my board is all nice and dry. I did go ahead and put one quick coat over the back, which was the front. I didn't want to show all those colors. You can still kind of see the welcome if you really look at it, but I'm not worried about that because it is going to be the back. Next, I'm going to be using one of the Crafter's Square metallic markers. Now that's what you want, is the metallic markers. The other ones that I've seen that are white are chalk markers, and that's not going to work for this project. And then I have a yardstick. You can use anything that's long and straight. I just want to add a couple planks here just to get me started. So there's my first one, and then I'm going to put my second one here. So you can lay in however many lines you want to show however many planks you want. I think 3 planks for me is good. Now I'm going to go and do a little bit of distressing. I'm going to use some of this folk art. This is vintage white. I'm also going to use some of this Folk Art medium gray. And then I might go in and add just a little bit of a sterling silver, but I'm going to wait and see what it looks like after I add these two. I have a small amount of each of the paint out. I'm going to start with the medium gray here. And I have my favorite brush for doing dry brushing. This is an old chip brush. You don't need a lot of product. I always like to start kind of around the edges until I get the feel of how the paint is moving and how much I have on my brush. This way it'll help take that majority off so I don't get too much on. But that's up to you. It all depends on how much you're looking to get down on your board. Once I've removed the majority, then I can start kind of just going back and forth. Now you want to keep your strokes and everything the same, in the same direction that your planks are going. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of the vintage white and do the same thing. Now don't worry, if you get too much of either of the two colors on there and you don't like it, you can always go back, do the same technique here, but use the black, the same black that you used in the base. That always makes things look very nice. It gives a very nice layered effect. You can also go in with sandpaper. That works too. So just keep working on your background until you get it the way that you like it. You want it to look rustic, creepy, and old. I have my board all painted and I'm happy with that, but I'm going to do one more technique. Take a sand block or sandpaper and I'm just going to go over and kind of sand out anything that looks a little too heavy. I just wanted to stress it a little bit more. Now I'm happy with that. I think that looks old and rustic, like it's been sitting out in the yard or a graveyard for a long time. So I'm very happy with my base. You can set that aside. Now you're going to need one of these little skulls that you can get in a package of like 6 or 8 from Dollar Tree. And I want to cut the round part here off so it'll sit flat and facing up on my sign. And these are garden shears that I got from Dollar Tree. And they work actually pretty good to cut this plastic. It's not too terribly thick, but you need something a little sharper than your standard pair of scissors. You could use probably a utility knife as well. Just be careful, don't hurt yourself. So cut that flat. That way he can sit flat there. I also picked up a bag of the little bones that you can get at Dollar Tree. I have some left over from last year, and they do have them again this year. And I'm going to use 2 of them so I can have the skull and crossbones on one end. And then on this end, I'm going to be attaching the Beware that you can also pick up at Dollar Tree. They also have one that's made like this that says Creepy. You can use either one, but I like this one because it looks like bones. And so that's how I'm going to glue everything down. Now to attach these, I'm going to use a combination of the Aleene's original tacky glue and hot glue. The hot glue will hold it in place long enough for the Aleene's original tacky glue to hold on. The reason why I'm using a combination is once Aleene's fully sets up, which takes 24 hours, it is weather resistant. And I am going to be putting some stakes on the back of this so I can stick it outside in one of my bushes. Now I want to attach my Beware first. You just need to decide, you know, your placement, how far over you want. You just need to leave enough space for your skull and crossbones. But I like that positioning. Now just to help me get it back in that same spot, I'm just going to give myself a little mark on the bottom here on either side. And I'm going to go in and add the Aleene's tacky glue. I want to get this nice and even. This will take a little while before it sets up, so I'm not too worried. And then I'll hit it with some hot glue and get it down. Add a little bit of weight so you have good contact. And I'm going to attach my skull and crossbones the same way. You want your glue to fully set up before we move to the next step. My Beware sign is all nice and dry, and I've decided I want to put this in my yard on stakes. So I am attaching my stakes right now, and I just picked these up at the 99-cent store. They were just regular garden stakes. You can pick something up like this at Lowe's, Home Depot, anything like that. And I'm attaching them with a combination of the Aleene's original tacky glue and hot glue. So the hot glue is holding them on right now. The Aleene's hasn't fully set up. So I need to wait until tomorrow before I can put this in my yard. But I'm really happy I'm going to place this in one of the bushes on the walkway up to the front door. I think it'll be the perfect addition for that walkway for Halloween for the little kiddos. This next DIY was inspired by one of the members of my Facebook group, Michelle Smith Creations. Tamara posted this picture of her potted plants for Halloween, and I just fell in love. I wanted to make one for myself and thought I would share the idea with you. Thank you so much, Tamara. For our next DIY, you're going to need a pot. This is the one that I'm going to be using. Now, the Grow Happy is not really for Halloween, so I'm going to be painting this, but I did want to start with a black pot. It's just going to make it easier for me. I want to make this look a little creepy since this is a Halloween craft. Now, this black pot that I've chosen is very shiny. So I've just taken my sand block here and I'm going through, and I just really want to rough everything up so that it takes the paint that I'm going to put on it really well. So I'll go through it going this way and also going this way. Make sure I rough up all that, and then you want to take a damp cloth and wipe off any of the powder residue that might be there. You don't want that to interfere with the paint. Now I have some paint laid out here on my palette. I have my Apple Barrel Flat Black. I also have some Folk Art Vintage White and Folk Art Medium Gray. Now I'm going to go over my first base with my pouncing brush. This will help me cover it quickly. And then once I have my first base down, then I'm going to go back in with this sponge to help give it a little bit more texture. But I definitely want to cover up this. So just tap into your paint and then start to tap over your project. Make sure I get that all covered up. And then I'm just going to go back and forth between the black and the gray. And then where I feel that I need it, I might add in just a little bit of the cream. I'm just wanting to kind of muddle all the colors together so that it makes the pot look old and weathered. Looks like that's going to give me enough texture, and I'm not going to have to go over it with that. Now, if you already have a pot or a container that you're happy with that you want to use, by all means, go ahead and use it. I just didn't have anything that looked creepy enough for Halloween for me, so I'm going to make my own. But use whatever you have. I really like that texture. It kind of looks like an old weathered cement pot. You want to let that fully dry before we move forward. My pot is all nice and dry, and I'm very happy with the texture. It looks nice, old, and weathered. Now I've cut myself a couple pieces of floral foam here. Just want to fill up the inside. Now you don't want it to come past the top here. We are going to cover the top in moss. I have some Spanish moss. I really do like this one, especially for doing Halloween. It's not green. It has this really nice gray look to it, which is perfect for Halloween. So you just want a piece that you can cover the top. I am going to add just a little bit of hot glue to help keep it in place. Kind of push it down and in around the edges. I really like that. Perfect. Hides all the moss. You can't see it. Now our base is ready to go. Next, you're going to need a package of the eyeballs that you can find at Dollar Tree. Any color will do. If you have a mix, that's great. Otherwise, one package should be sufficient. And you're also going to need some wood skewers. So I have my little eyeballs. Now I'm going to be attaching these to the tips of my skewers here. But to help me do that, I'm going to use my hot glue gun. And I'm just going to hold it right against the eyeball here in the back and slightly press until it goes through, and then pull it out. Add a small amount of hot glue into that hole. And then I'm putting the pointy end down into the hole. You're also going to need some green mesh tubing. You want to slide that over your skewer. Add a little more hot glue right at the base. And then push that down into the hot glue. So these are your eyeballs. You just want to make sure that the angles of your eyeballs are different on each of them. Once you start to place them into the pot, then you can adjust the height. But for right now, I'm keeping them all the same height. I'm just changing the angles. So again, just hold my hot glue gun against it and allow the heat to penetrate. And then pull it out. Add a little bit of hot glue. And put my skewer in. Add a little bit of green tubing. Now I chose to use the dark green tubing. If you prefer to use the light green tubing, or that's all that you have, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Now I'm going to do this to 5 eyeballs. I have all of my eyeballs done. You're also going to need a couple stems of the fern that you can get from Dollar Tree. So I have 2 of this one. I really do like this one. And then I also have 2 of this fern. Now this is the one that comes on the really long stem. I'm going to use this one to fill in because these are going to be shorter. I'm keeping these together like they are. And I'm going to start by placing these 2. And I'm just going to simply push them in to the floral foam. And I kind of want these, because they're the taller ones, to be the backdrop. So I'm going to place them a little further back in the pot here. And then you just want to fan them out a little bit. This is going to be your backdrop. And now I'm going to start to add my little eyeballs. And I'm just going to push up the mesh tubing here and then press in, and then that should come down and fill in until it gets inside. And then just choose your placement. Just like that. And then you can vary the lengths by trimming the base. So I'm going to get the rest of my eyeballs in, and then I'll come back and show you how to fill in. Now I have my 5 eyeballs in, and I'm really happy with their placement. Now see, the mesh tubing goes all the way down and covers that stick. I really do like it, and I like that the dark green really kind of blends in. So now I'm going to fill in here in the front, and I've taken one of my stems here and I've cut it into 3 pieces. And then I'm just going to push it in and help kind of camouflage the base here by adding a little bit more greenery. I want it to come up inside and grow around all the eyeball blooms. See, just a couple pieces. I really do like that. Very cute. I got all of my eyeballs in and my greenery. I'm very happy. I did go back and add 2 more eyeballs, so I have a total of 7. And then I did add some greenery here in the back to fill in. Now I have a few more items that I want to add to my potted plant here, and I have some black ring spiders. I already cut the ring part off. I have one of these cute little skulls, and I have some of the little bones. Now I'm going to be gluing these in around my pot, the bones and things around the bottom, and I'm going to be putting the spiders throughout my plant. Now I also have this to add. I took one of the little Halloween cutout words that says Happy Halloween with the pumpkin, and I painted it. I kept it very simple. I just painted my pumpkin orange and the rest black. I added a little brown stem and some lines. That was it. Hot glued on another skewer onto the back. Now because I want this skewer to blend in, I'm going to go ahead and slide another piece of that mesh tubing. That way that will just blend in with the rest of the plant. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add my final embellishments, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. And here you go, we are all done. I got all of my final embellishments glued in. I put 3 spiders, 1 here on the pot and then 2 here in the plant. And then I also added this really cute little skull and some bones down here in the bottom. And every once in a while you can see some bones popping up all the way around. Well, I'm really happy with how this turned out. My Halloween potted plant. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and found some fun ideas to decorate for this Halloween. Thanks so much for stopping by. You know, it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope everyone is staying happy, healthy, and strong. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.